Thank you. Yes, it has been 7 years. It has been 7 years, and my family and friends keep asking, well, why haven't you competed again? Well, since the last time I was here, the Great Recession hit, and I haven't felt one little bit funny. I had to ask several of my friends whether I should compete tonight at this age. So I met my buddy Woody for a cold beer, which always helps the decision-making process. He looked straight across the bar and saw these two old, decrepit guys and said, you know, you better do it while you still can, because in about 10 years, that's going to be me and you. I said, Woody, that's a mirror. My old college roommate, Rod, said, sure, go for it. You could always call it the Depends Tour. Can I make it through this whole routine? Depends. I think I have this humor DNA that goes back many generations. You know, today they call you a funny man, but 1,000 years ago you'd be called the fool. So the king is miserable. The king is is asking the fool to be brought out. So they drag out my great, that's 34 greats, grandfather. For you Georgia Tech folks, that's great to the power of 34. Now this is serious comedy pressure. You know, either he's funny or he dies. Now tonight's pressure, and it's hot up here. I'm sweating like an Auburn running back taking the SAT exam. But at least I won't die. I think this humor DNA came through my mother's side of the family. I remember as a kid, she had friends over to play cards. They were discussing the biggest problem of the day, chipmunks digging up your yard. One of the ladies said, well, I read how you get rid of chipmunks. You pour boiling water down their holes. My mom said, yeah, but who's going to hold the chipmunk? My wife thinks my genetic propensity to humor, pretty big words for an Alabama grad, is a curse, not a blessing. We were watching Everybody Loves Raymond. Raymond was the speaker at an event, and he made way too many jokes at his wife's expense. They were arguing. She was mad as hell. She turns to him. She says, you are nothing but a laugh whore. My wife jumps off the sofa, points at me, and says, that's it, laugh whore. So I've gone from being a funny man CPA to a laugh whore CPA. Just what our clients are looking for. And on that property transaction, you know, we treat it as a like-kind exchange or an installment sale. And did you hear the one about the priest, the rabbi, and the hooker? This getting old is strange. My buddy Charlie says, and I quote, the only good thing about men getting older is the universe of women that we're willing to check out grows dramatically. At 19, maybe you'll look at a 30-year-old, but that's it. But now, I check out all ages. I said, I agreed, you know. I saw that I fall in and I can't get up commercial. And that gal on the floor was pretty hot. Come on, Grandma, get up. You're missing the party. But one thing that doesn't change as you get older, and that is, if you have a weird sense of humor, you can be dangerous. Remember, you don't mess with a funny man. So a little audience participation. When I give the sign, you say, you don't mess with a funny man. Let's give it a quick try. You don't mess with a funny man. A little louder. You don't mess with a funny man. Perfect. So I'm over at Mark's house watching football. One of the guys comes up behind Mark and rubs his bald head and says to everyone's laughter, your head is just as smooth as my wife's butt. Mark said, yeah, I know. So I tag along with Steve and his sales group out to Vegas. We go to a big-time dinner sponsored by one of his vendors. I want to pay my fair share because I'm never buying anything from this guy. He heads to the men's room. I see my chance. I follow him and offer him $100. He politely declines. We come back to the table full of guys, and he says, "Hey, Tom just offered me $100 in the men's room." I responded, "I appreciated the assistance." Well, every 5 years I write a poem whether I need to or not. It's been 7 years, so I'm way overdue. So hold on, here goes. I've tried to share some humor. This is as funny as I get. I may be older than dirt, but I'm not 6 feet under yet. I'm looking for special dispensation. For you LSU grads, that's grading on the curve. Since I'm twice as old as my competition, this has taken lots of nerve. Whether you're a fool, funny man, or laugh whore, it's really all the same. I hope you laugh, because I don't want to hear, "That geezer sure was lame." The one thing you should remember, and I really know you can, for goodness sakes, warn your family. Everybody ready? Thank you all.